Hello there, in this video we are going to attempt the try it yourself section for nesting. This is the last part of the chapter and we are done. So let's begin with 6-7 people. Start with the program you wrote in exercise 6-1. Make two new dictionaries representing different people and store all three dictionaries in a list called people. Loop through your list of people. As you loop through the list, print everything you know about each person. Now, exercise 6-1, if you want to see, let me show you. It is here. But it was just a dictionary of a person and then we were printing it. So first name, last name, age, and city. Now we want to create a list of dictionaries this time. Let me go back to the current section. So here we are. Now, in order to save time, I have actually created a bunch of dictionaries myself prior of recording the video, so I don't have to spend time typing. So let's begin touch. Let's solve the problem, and I'm going to create a file called people touch people.py, and let me copy my existing code. Let me first open the file. First of all, people.py, and this is the code. So I have person 0, 1, and 2, first name Sarah, last name Chan, and their city. Now our goal is to loop through them for p in people. I can do for p in people, and I can just print all of the information. I could just do p and it will display each dictionary python people.py, or I can display their first name, last name, and city, and so on. I forgot to include age, but I think it's okay. First name, and let's do last name, p, last name, and finally p, city. Now let's run our code and see. Python people.py, Sarah Chan Toronto. Now I think I added an extra space here. Now if you want to line everything up, I think I have already done it before. You can use this trick. So you can put a 10 here. So you are telling Python that this variable make 10 spaces for this, and you can put 10 here as well. Now there will be the place of 10 characters. Now see how it is lined up very nicely. Now this is it for 6-7. Let's do 6-8, pets. So let's create a new file called pets.py. Let me open the file, pets.py. Make several dictionaries where each dictionary represents a different pet. In each dictionary, include the kind of animal and the owner's name. Store these dictionaries in a list called pet. Next, loop through your list, and as you do, print everything you know about each pet. So it's the exact same problem than last time, compared from the last time. So we have a list of dictionaries. We are going to loop through them and print every information. For p and pets, how about this time we use a loop inside a loop? I think that's gonna be fun. For pet inside pets, for now I'm gonna do for key inside pet, because pet is a dictionary and we're gonna get a key inside each dictionary. Now I can print. I can first get value equal to pet and key, and now I can print. Key and value. Now we are going to get everything in this list of dictionaries. Let me show you. Python pets.py. So kind hamster owner Tim, kind parrot owner Eliza, kind goldfish owner Sam. I don't think we have discussed creating a loop inside a loop, but that's another example of nesting. You can create loops inside loops. And if it doesn't make sense, well, you can just create a normal print statement. So this is it for exercise 6-8. Let's move on to 6-9. Favorite places. Make a dictionary called favorite places. Think of 3 names to use as keys in the dictionary and store 1 to 3 favorite places for each person. Okay. Okay, so let me create a file, touch favorite places.py. Let's open the file, favorite places. Now we have a dictionary of lists. Now what we are supposed to do to make this exercise more interesting, ask some friends to name a few of their places. Well, I do not have friends, so let's get rid of that part. Loop through the dictionary and print each person's name and their favorite places. Well, we can do that, can't we? For let's do key and favorite places. So that's the name of each person, and we can print the key. Now we can do dot title here, key dot title. Now apostrophe s favorite places are. Now we can run a loop on favorite places, right? So let's get the value first. Value equal to favorite places key. For place and value. Now I'm using the word key and value. Now if you don't like the word key and value and if you want to give them meaning, you can do for name in favorite places, because the keys are the names of people. Name and value is actually places, right? Places. So here we get name, here we get places. For place and places, now we can just print the name of the places. Again, let's do f string. Let's add 2 spaces here and place dot title. Place dot title. Now we can print some dashes to separate the output. Let's do 10. And we're done. Let's run the code and let me show you what we get. Python favorite places.py. Now I think we can have a few more dashes. Let's do 30. Let me clear and run it. So Eric's favorite places are Grand Canyon, Death Valley, Yellowstone. Maya's favorite places are Tokyo and Kyoto. Leo's favorite places are only one, which is Paris. So I hope it makes sense. Now we have a list inside a dictionary. Now just using one for loop, we are running it on multiple lists. So places is going to change, right? First, this is the places, then this and this. I think this is a very good example to review and practice. Now let's look at exercise 6-10, favorite numbers. So we have already worked on favorite numbers last time. So let's see. Favorite numbers. Now each person has only one favorite number, but we can have multiple. We can have multiple favorite numbers. Now we have a dictionary of lists again. Now we can remove this code from last time. And now we can again run a for loop just like last time. So for name and favorite numbers, for now you can use items. Let's use items this time for name and nums in favorite nums dot items. For num and nums, let's just print num, or we can just do num without an f string, and let's print the name without an f string as well, and let's do print Python favorite numbers.py, and this is what we get. Now the output doesn't look very nice. That's why we use f strings to make it pretty. But I guess that you can do that on your own. This example is very similar to the last one, so let's not spend too much time on it. Now the last one, now we have the last problem, 6-11, cities. So let me create a new file first, touch cities.py. Let's open the file, cities. Now here we have a dictionary of dictionaries. Now we are going to print the name of each city and all the information you have stored about it using again a for loop. Now you can again use a loop inside loop for city and cities. I can print the name of the city. I can do dot title. Information about, let's do information about, and we can make it a little more pretty using, let's do some equal signs. Now let's run a for loop on each city. Now a city is a dictionary, so you have to remember how your for loop is gonna work when you're looping through the item. So we are gonna get each keys, or you can do item. So let's say attribute comma and value in city dot items, Interesting. Oh, I will need to get city information, right? Information is equal to cities and city. Now we can get, now this information is the dictionary. Now we can do information dot items. Now we can just print the attribute. You can just print the attribute and the value. Let's run our cities example, and that's what we get. Let's have an empty line break to make it a little pretty. So information about Tokyo, country is Japan, population, and fact. Information about New York, country USA, population, and fact, and so on. You can do title here as well if you want to. So I got a little confused in this one, but because let's look at it now. Cities is a dictionary. City is going to be just the key. To get each item, the dictionary, inside the dictionary, you are going to use cities and the key and get the information. Now we can run a for loop on the dictionary like this. So I guess this is it for this video, and we are done with chapter 6, dictionaries. In the next one we are going to talk about, let me show you, in the next one we are going to talk about user input and while loops, chapter 7. So I hope you're excited, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.